All right, guys, I want to welcome you to Math 1351 for the Summer 1 session. I'm sending this out a bit early because I'm going to go ahead and open the course 2 weeks early. I know several of you are concerned about the course being so fast-paced, so last week I spent time getting the course built, and so that way we can open it ahead. That does not mean you have to work ahead. So all the due dates are what's on the calendar. However, you are going to have 2 extra weeks, which I highly encourage you to use to go ahead and get started. I'll be very honest, our first unit I feel like is the hardest, and so it's a really good opportunity for you to work ahead. Even though the course is opening 2 weeks ahead, I will not start holding office hours until the summer begins, the summer session begins, because I am going to still take some time the next couple of weeks to spend some time with my family. If you do have questions though, or if you need me, go ahead and send me an email and I will respond, within 20 to 48 hours. So definitely feel free to send an email with questions, but I'm not going to do a lot of tutoring or office hours until the course actually begins. Okay. When you work ahead, like I said, on that first unit, you want to go ahead and get those notes done. You have time now. I suggest you watch those lessons twice. Really spend time filling out those notes and working on those assignments. And if you can get that first unit done before the course even opens, that's going to be great. Because after we get going, it's pretty much like a unit a week, and so that way for this first unit you can spend 2 weeks on it, really get that material down so that you're ready for that first exam. Okay. We are not going to use Blackboard messages this semester. We're going to use just SPC email. And so I'll show you how that's going to work. But if you go here to email now and you come to send me an email, it's going to say email instructor users, and so you can come here and click on this and it's going to send me an email, but it's going to be to my SPC email, and so I will respond back to you and it'll go to your SPC email as well. So just know that we're not going to do course messages. We're going to use SPC email this semester. When you come to the Start Here page, here is this video that you're watching it right now, and then you have the syllabus and the calendar. I'm going to go ahead and open up the syllabus and talk about some things. If you had me last semester for 1350, a lot of this is going to be very much the same. So the first thing you need to do is read this syllabus very carefully. That's step 1. Reread it. I always get emails throughout the semester asking things, people are confused about things, and it's in the syllabus. So make sure you read the syllabus carefully. The second thing you need to do is print the calendar. So print the assignment list. So let me go back here and open this up as well. Here is your calendar. Gives you some information about things that are in Blackboard, things that are in Proctorio. When I highlight things, those are going to be exams. We do have a practice exam. That's just to get you used to using Proctorio, because 2 of your exams will be monitored with Proctorio. Those are going to be exams that you view in Blackboard, you write your work on paper, and you scan and upload. So the first test will be like that, but we like to do a practice run just because Proctorio unnerves some people, and that way you can get used to it before you actually have to use it. So test 1, the practice test will be a practice run. Test 1 will be a paper test. It will open in Blackboard. It will be open 24 hours. You will view it online. You will write your work on paper. You will scan your work and upload your work. Test 2 is going to be a test in MyMathLab. That's not going to be monitored using Proctorio where it videos you taking that test. You'll just take that test in MyMathLab. Test 3 will be another paper test that will be, you'll view it in Blackboard, write your work on paper, scan it, upload it. That's open for 24 hours exactly, 6 p.m. to 6 p.m. And then test 4 is going to be a MyMathLab test. We will not have a final exam. We will not have a midterm. We don't have time in the summer. We're going to take 4 unit tests, 2 in MyMathLab, 2 in Proctorio. You also have a couple of projects, one in Unit 4, you can see that highlighted right here, and one up here in Unit 2. A lot of people really like the projects in this course. Usually the grades are really high, and they really enjoy them. I don't think I've ever been turned in a project in 1351 that wasn't an A. Like, they're always excellent. You're going to create a Nearpod, which is like a digital lesson over some geometry stuff. That's in Unit 2. And then Unit 4, you're going to record yourself teaching some volume and some surface area. And I'll have videos posted on how to do those things when the time comes. But that's one of those things with the course opening 2 weeks early. If you can get Unit 1 done, then as soon as the course opens, you can start on Unit 2 and start working on that Unit 2 project, and you can just stay ahead all through the summer session. Okay. Pay close attention to the calendar, print it off, refer to it daily, because in the summer class, you have stuff that is due daily. All of the homeworks and quizzes are already open. So that's what you can work ahead on. Now, you cannot work ahead on the exams. However, if I notice that pretty much the majority of the class is working ahead and they're ready to take that first test, I might go ahead and offer an option to go ahead and take that test early. We'll just kind of see how many people actually work ahead. Okay. So that's step 2 is to get your assignment. Step 2 and step 3 is to print and read your assignment in your calendar. Okay. Step 4, send me a message. I'm sorry, that needs to be changed. Well, through Blackboard, yeah. You're going to come here, and then you'll just come right here to email and hit email instructor, and you can send me that message saying that you've read it. When you say that you've read it and printed it, you're responsible for everything in it. So make sure you know where everything, everything that's in here, okay? And then the last thing you need to do is get logged into Blackboard. Not into Blackboard, MyMathLab, sorry. So if you come to course content, your very first option is getting into MyMathLab. That's where you're going to view your textbook. That's where you're going to do your homework. That's where you're going to do your quizzes. I also have links in each week that can get you to into MyMathLab, but that's the same link everywhere. I mean, it's just going to take you to the home of MyMathLab. Okay. All right, so here you have my email. I am not, since this is an online class, I'm not going to really be in Levelland much because I don't live in Levelland. So if you call my office phone, I'm not going to be there. You can leave a message and so forth, but the best thing for you to do is just to send me an email. The gradebook, remember, is not the gradebook in MyMathLab. If you want to know what your grades are, you will need to click on My Grades in Blackboard, just like you did last semester. And here it is right here. If you click on My Grades in Blackboard, estimated course grade is your estimated average with everything weighted in. And as you do these assignments, the grades are going to come in. Now, I do want to remind you, as you're in MyMathLab working, say you get in and you're working and you're not finished, those grades import every 2 to 3 hours. And so let's say you finish in MyMathLab and you got it to 100. It'll take a few hours for that to pull into Blackboard. So always give that some time. Okay, office hours. During the summer sessions, we don't have set office hours. It's going to be by appointment. So as you need help, you can email me and I will set up a Zoom with you, but they're not going to be set office hours. I'm happy to hold those office hours. You just have to communicate with me and tell me that you need that. So one thing I don't want is I don't want you working on this and spending hours and hours trying to figure something out. That's what I'm here for. So if you're working on a concept and you're really struggling, that's when you need to reach out to me, or I'm going to give you a name of an excellent tutor for this course, or you can reach out to her and get some help. Don't struggle to the point where you're getting exasperated. Reach out for help if it's something you need. Now, one thing I will say is when you reach out for help, because this happens sometimes, we'll have people reach out for help and they have really even watched the lesson yet. We have people sometimes that come in and say, I don't understand, and they haven't even watched the lesson. So you need to watch the lecture 1 or 2 times and attempt the homework. And then if you need help, you reach out and I'll pull up your homework and I'll help you. But it's not very productive if you start reaching out for help before you've actually tried to learn the material. Okay, so office hours, will be as you need them. Now, I am teaching 2 summer courses, and so that's why I'm giving you also the name of a tutor, because sometimes it's hard for me to have individual Zooms with everyone because I have 2 classes of students. And so if I'm not available because I'm with another student, that's when you might want to reach out to the tutor, okay? You have My Math Lab. Like I said, use your username and password that you used last semester and try to get logged in. We have information here on technical support, class policies. This is all very self-explanatory, so you'll just need to read it to yourself. Make sure you're very aware of how your grades are being calculated, what counts as each percentage. In your assignments, you have 20 lessons, 20 sets of notes, 20 homeworks in My Math Lab. Those are all already open. And you can work those again and again and again until you get up to 100 on the homework. The homework is unlimited attempts. You have discussions. One thing on the discussions that I noticed is people will post, but they won't reply. That's why it says, and at least 1 reply. That's part of your points. Quizzes are already open in My Math Lab. Those are timed, and you do not have unlimited attempts on those. You have 2 attempts. Test 2 and 4 is going to be a test in My Math Lab. It's going to be password protected. I'll email you a password. You have 2 hours to complete it, and make sure you read this. You may use your textbook, problems you have written down, notes, quizzes. On the test in My Math Lab, I can't monitor what you use, so use it. However, if you don't study, there's no way you can look up every problem in 2 hours. So you still need to prepare for those exams, okay? One thing I would recommend is when you're doing your homework in My Math Lab, print those assignments, because if you print the homeworks, then you have that to refer back to take those My Math Lab quizzes and those My Math Lab exams, okay? So when you're in My Math Lab, and let me actually just go and open My Math Lab. When you're in My Math Lab and you're doing your assignments, okay, so when you're working these assignments, sorry, these are not opening for me right now. Okay, so when you're in here, you can come up here to the top and click on print, and you can print the assignments. And so if you and so forth, okay? You have question help on here. On the homework, you can work it as many times as you want. It's unlimited attempts. So I would go ahead and start working on those assignments, okay? And we'll get all of that open for you starting as soon as the class opens. Now, test 1 and 3 are paper tests that are monitored with Proctorio. Proctorio will record your screen. It will record you. It will record your sound. It is very good at monitoring exams. It'll monitor how many times you look off. I don't say that to freak you out, but it's very good at monitoring. If you're not doing anything wrong, there's nothing to worry about. It's just monitoring, trying to make sure that students don't cheat. cheat. It'll record, you know, what you're working on. It'll record what's going on your screen. That way, if you were to click on anything, try to look anything up, it's going to record that. But like I said, if you don't, you know, you do need to read. There's a lot of information here on how to use Proctorio. I've also made a video that you can look at explaining how to use Proctorio, but you need to read this carefully. It's very self-explanatory. It's very easy to use. I would say 95% of the time we don't have any trouble. The 5% of the time that we do have trouble is because people don't read the directions and do what they're supposed to do. So it's very easy, very user-friendly, very self-explanatory. You just have to read the syllabus and watch the video on what you're supposed to do. And then we shouldn't have any trouble using Proctorio. And that's, again, why we have a practice run. So we'll do a little practice run on Proctorio. A lot of you have already used it, so it's no big deal. We have 2 projects. Those are also very self-explanatory. Here's the first one with directions, a video on how to start it where I'm explaining it to you, tutorials, all of that and so forth. So that's all there for you. And then you have another project. Let me get back. This one. And this is not until later in the semester, but again, a video explaining it, instructions, and so forth. So pretty self-explanatory. You're going to do it just like last semester. You'll go to course content to get started. You're going to go to course content, week 1. Here's the calendar of everything you have week 1. Here's access to everything you need for week 1. You're going to watch your lecture, fill in your notes, go do your homework. Print your notes, watch the lecture, fill in the notes, go do your homework. Just follow along here. You'll notice that whereas in the normal semester we have about 2 lessons per week, now we're going to have 4 because we do not have near the amount of time. And that's why I encourage you to go ahead and get started. Okay. If you have any questions, reach out. If you don't want to work ahead, don't feel obligated to. The course doesn't actually start till June 6th, so if you want to wait till June 6th to get started, that's perfectly fine. Definitely reach out at any time. I want to help you. I want you all to be successful. You know, but we have to get prepared. If you can't do well on my test, you cannot do well in the certification test. And so definitely make sure that you're preparing. The more you practice, the easier the exams are. So every semester, I mean, I get all kinds of people that tells me, I'm not a good test taker. I'm not a good test taker. And that's something that we have to overcome, especially if you're going to be a teacher and you have to pass the certification test to be a teacher. We have to get prepared for that test. And so I want to help you. I want you to be able to do that. So stay on top of it. Reach out for help before it's too late. And let me help you. I want to help you. I'm going to give you the name again to the tutor. Reach out to her if you need help. She's excellent. She's taken my classes. She has been my teaching assistant in these classes. She knows all of this material. She knows the way that I give the test, the way the classes run. She knows everything. So she'll be very beneficial. I don't know what she will charge you. That will be between you and her if you do reach out to her, but I can tell you that she is a very good tutor.